We're live. It's easy peasy. And we got a good one for you today. So unless you are new to the multifamily world and you have not been on the internet your whole entire life, you should know our special guest. We've got a really good one. It's going to be jam-packed with information. It's going to be interactive. So if you've got questions, ask them. We'll try to get to them. And without further ado, Marco Barbaro. What's up, Marco?
Toby, how you doing, buddy? Really happy to be
Good.
on here, especially because, you've done such great things and it's been together basically. I've seen you do them. I've been able to assist also with your team and stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's cool to be on today.
Definitely. So you're not in the lab, Marco. Where are you at right now?
I am down in Orlando, my daughter's apartment, because she came home during the hurricane. I'm up in Ponte Vedra Beach. People don't know me. I'm originally from New York. And her car got water in it from the hurricane. They didn't have flooding, but just with the wind. Yeah, so her car got totaled. I got it to the dealership. It's covered insurance, but I'm down here because of multifamily. You're why. I was able to come down, spend 3, 4, 5 days here, hang out with her, have lunch with my daughter, and take care of the problem. I bought her. I went to the dealership, got her the same car. Insurance is going to cover it. It's not a big deal. It's just time wasted. So it's like it inconveniences your life. Everything, but the life is like that. Entrepreneur, it's not a straight line. So, came down and I tell people, if I was still at the restaurant in New York where people don't know me on this call, I couldn't do that. I'd have to leave the restaurant, but it'd be a disaster down. It'd be taking orders and caterings and, so I tell people who are young or even old, I don't care if you're 55, go to a multifamily event like Jake Gino MM5 in Orlando, the Gaylord Palms. See if you like the space, because you don't need to start with a 300 unit. Start with a duplex or a fourplex for your kids. Like if you're 50 and you have a great job, it's not really for you. Do it for your kids. Do it for your retirement. But then you can leave a little legacy to your kids. Like think big, start small. That's a quote, my brother's favorite quote. And that's what we teach, Toby. That's what you did in the mastermind. You started with a 20 unit, then a 50, and now you close on 174. And now you could do a 20 unit JV or a 150 unit syndication, And I want you to, I'm going to ask you one thing. You started out as a fix and flip, and then you met Marco, and you were doing really good, but you wanted more. So real quick, if you can, to the people that are on here, what has MIH Mastermind meant to you?
Man, so I gotta take it back because I have a lot of conversations with a lot of awesome people, and a lot of it is just mindset. You start talking about paying for anything and people are just like, whoa, especially the wrong people. So I want to really debunk whatever myths or whatever misconceptions you have about paying for anything, and just know that, not to get into the whole school system stuff, but we pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to school, to get a job, right? Why would you not invest in yourself and speed up whatever process, you're trying to achieve? So that's what it is to join a mastermind. Is you can't even say pay. You're investing in yourself, in your life, in your legacy, to speed up a process and gain wisdom from other people and be around like-minded people. I say this all the time. Like, you're not going to meet the multifamily people that you want to meet at Walmart, right? Like, where else are you going to meet them, right? So you pay for mentorship, you pay for coaching, you pay for those things, and you're literally in the room. You bypass all the people at Walmart. You bypass all the people that go to the free RIAs, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of good opportunity there, but you bypass all those people and you literally get to the cream of the crop. You get to the best right there, and you're in the room with the best, and they want to do deals, and they want to do deals with you. So that's what MIH has meant to me. Is I got to bypass all of that. I got in the room with high caliber people that are literally like hardwired to win, just like I am. And we married together and we did deals, period.
So here's a great story. Got on a call with you. I come on with good energy because I get in state like Tony Robbins teaches. So I'm in peak mental state. And people
you do the whole
Is it
the rock or the rap?
If I come on and I'm not in state, like, I want to show what the group's about. The group's about energy, about motivation, about momentum, about closing deals. So I got in. I asked you questions and you answered them. Like, I'm in single family. I want more. And then I said, this guy, oh, I know that guy in your group. I'm like, he's closing 2 deals. He was, and you're like, he's a beginner. I'm like, he was. but he's in the right group. And then at the end, you were so juiced and pumped. Like you're like, I'm in. This is great. This is what I'm looking for. I know people in your group. I know you're proven. You were so excited. You didn't even know how much it was. You were in, and I could have told you just say it was 20K. At the end, it's funny. You're like, by the way, how much is it? And then I told you how much it was, and you're like, oh wow, thank God, that's actually less than I thought it was going to be. You know. So, but it's not the dollar amount, because people always worried about the dollar amount. And they're like, let me join that group. It's $2,000, but you're going to get a $2,000 group. That's what you're going to get. And my group is not your 35K, 50K, 30, 20. My group is actually, I have 40 deals. I'm retired. I don't need the money, but I got, obviously me and Hadar got to get paid for what we do, because we're helping people close deals. I mean, many, many deals. You have like 4 or 5 yourself.
Let me sidetrack while we're on that. So I love everybody, and I want everybody to reach out to me, but I get a lot of DMs and people ask me about free mentorship. In your opinion, does that exist?
So
that's
it does exist.
Point.
I'm going to give you an old school immigrant answer. My father, who was off a boat from Italy, came here with nothing, and he worked his ass off in the restaurant business. Started out 16 years old doing whatever. 20 years old, he was head chef of a restaurant. He worked his ass off. He retired at 52 years old with no college, buying 2 families and 4 families, nothing big. It's all he knew how to do. He told me when I was 12 years old, I'll never forget it, either 10 or 12, you never ask for anything for free. You always work your ass off, pay for it, and if you have to pay extra, you pay extra. You know, so like that's what I teach in my mastermind. That whole, people call me, yo, can I get Chris Jackson's synthesis free? I'm like, no. He worked his ass off building that. Why? You should actually buy it to support him, because he's giving free value in our group for the next 20 years. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so that's what my father taught me. I'll give you an example. I was a 10-time award-winning chef at the restaurant. In my local town, I would go to restaurants and the owners would want to buy me dinner, give me drinks. I would tell the server, put everything on the bill. They need to make money. He can maybe have an espresso with me at the end. That's it. And that's the mentality my dad taught me. And that's the same thing in coaching in multifamily. I mean, come on, man, invest in yourself. That's that whole mindset of, I don't want people in our group who want free stuff, because that's the wrong mindset. Like you said, a mindset. I want people who are willing to invest in themselves to be in my group, because that's the ones who are going to put the time in. The ones who want free stuff, they're not going to put the work in. They're going to come in a month or two and they're going to fall off. So
let's kind of clear the air, because like I would consider myself, and you're definitely a go-giver. We're going to give you as much as we can, but we have other responsibilities. We've got families, we've got, properties, we've got management, we've got all sorts of other stuff that we have to tend to. So for us to be able to allot, even 20 minutes to pour into somebody, like that's a tall ask.
Toby, you know why I'm so full? I'm a go-giver. I do 100 calls a month for free. Yeah. I do. You know what I do for my brother, Jake and Gino, because I'm committed to Gino and Gino's committed to me. My brother, guys from Jake and Gino, he's like, Marco, charge me the hour because I'm helping his. I'm like, Gino, I don't need to charge you because we have deals together. We've been partners in the restaurant since I'm 18. So it's like, I do those calls, and I tell the members, I'm like, listen, I'm not charging, this is a free call. In 8 weeks, I'll get on another free 45-minute call you. But then you know what Tony Robbins teaches? Just give 10,000 times more than you want to receive.
Exactly.
And if you do it genuinely, you need to do it genuinely, not doing it, expect anything. When it comes back to you, I actually asked Tony Robbins, I spoke to him one-on-one, one of my friends works for him. He says, if you genuinely do it and you're a go-giver, it will come back to you. You can accept it because you're being genuine. You're not doing it to accept it. So what happens? All those 100 calls, they join my mastermind. They want to invest in my deals. Why? I'm adding an hour free to him. I got some guy, Anthony, to a deal when he's not. And then all of a sudden he called me. He goes, Marco, I'm going to invest in your deal. You got me in a deal instead of Mike's deal. He's not doing anything for me. So it's that whole thing, adding value. And yes, I'm going to be a go-giver. But when people ask things for free, it's like, I give tough love. I don't mind telling them, like, no, you need to change your mindset.
Exactly. I think that's a really good point because it's more of the mindset shift. And investing in yourself doesn't necessarily have to mean immediately joining a mastermind. It could be something as simple as going out and getting, Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? That's an initial investment, right? That's paying probably now you can get it on eBay for a couple bucks. It's paying a couple dollars, and you're training your mind to go out and get the things that you want and, invest in yourself. So, and then from there it scales up, right? Like, I'm sure you can attest to this. I mean, we pay good money to be in high level rooms because we know the value we're going to get. And it could literally just be one gem can literally change your life. But in everybody's road to success, there's different, segments, and your road to success right now might look like gaining as much knowledge as you can from some of these free sessions, hanging out around guys like Marco. I mean, like you said, you do 100 of those. There's plenty of good stuff. I learned a lot. That's how I got into your circle. Is Joseph invited me to one of those calls, and I was like, "Who is
Awesome.
this
Your
Italian guy with all this
success in
energy?"
my group is amazing. I helped build your team in my group. You came in, I introduced you to Vienne and Aaron and Sarah. Vienne's a hard worker. She is awesome.
100%.
Aaron is great. I mean, you guys, and I told you, you have an amazing team. Now you got Fred Manavi coming in on deals. Now, remember, I told you, the only thing you're missing is you guys got deal finders. You just need the money raisers. You just need people who can actually raise money, not say, hey, I'm going to raise $1 million for you, and then they can't pull it through. You just need money raisers because you guys are getting deal flow. You guys are kicking ass, and you have the team. I told you, for the next year, your job in MIH for the next year was to interview money raisers and get people, give away the 25, 30%, because your team will keep the 70. You just need people to help you close your deals. You can't do everything. Aaron, you are driving for dollars. Aaron's underwriting and Vienne's helping underwriting, and you guys got that team to get the deal. You can't wear all the hats. Yeah, you guys can raise a little bit of money, but I'd rather you focus on getting deals. That's what the plan was in MIH for you guys. Now today, real quick, we're going to cover intro to cash flow and appreciation of value, free value by me. We're going to cover mastermind and how to vet the right group, the right mentors, and what mistakes people are making, and just a little bit about 2023. These are all intros because I have further educations free down the road. So anything before I start, Toby? Any question or anything?
No, that's it. Let's dive in.
All right. So intro to cash flow and appreciation. Is it cash flow, appreciation, or both? I'm doing a free 1 hour, 2 hour master class. It's worth $5,000. Probably going to sell it for $195 after I do the recording. It's free. I think it's November 10th. I'm not sure the date, 8 o'clock at night Eastern. It's in November. If you guys look at my Facebook page, scroll down, the post is there. It's all over Facebook, all my pages. It's free. Why wouldn't you come? The one thing I'm going to talk about is I'm giving away my blueprint to 40 deals. I currently own 40 multifamily deals, 26 generational wealth, and 14 syndications. And that ties into cash flow appreciation, a mix of both. I started my career with just GP deals, me and my brother and Jake. And I thought, that's all I'm doing. That's the way. Syndication sucks. Nope. I learned later on that syndication is good. And not just syndication alone is not good. I'm going to teach why I think a mix of both, a healthy mix of both. And syndication for me, I would only do it with Chris Jackson because he's an amazing person at syndication, great ethics, and also my brother and Jake. The only 3 people I would do a syndicate. I don't need to do deals because I have 40. I would only do it with Chris Jackson, my brother, and Jake on syndications. JV deals, I build teams in the mastermind. I have endless. Hadar, my partner, my brother, and Jake. Joe Sullivan, our group. Joe Sullivan, Yosef, and Hendra. We have 3, a 40, a 43, and a 20 closing right now JV deals in KC. Smoking hot market. So, so I mean, one thing about that class, guys, this is the tip. Be careful. There's a lot of mentors out there teaching it wrong. There's a couple mentors I know that I'm friends with. One of them doesn't even have deals anymore, hasn't done a deal in 2 years, and he's teaching just appreciation. Like, he's really strong on it. He talks really like about cash flow. Jake Stenziano, what I love, says, if it doesn't cash flow, let the grass grow. I love that quote. Jake Stenziano's on board with me because I'll give you 2 deals in my 38. My first deal in 2012, I bought a 4-unit in 1998, then I built 2 houses. But my first deal outside of New York in 2012, 26 unit, put $50,000 in, me, my brother, and Jake, $50,000. Was given about $800 a month the first year. In the second year, we refied it, took out my $50,000. It currently gives me $3,500 a month, every month on $50,000. What's that, like 80% return, even though it's infinite? Because that's crazy. It refis itself every year, basically. So that's cash flow.
Is that the one you gave?
26. I'm sorry.
Is that the one you gave to your mother or something like that?
Yeah, no, it's going to my kids, but no, my mom. I got my mother. I'm bringing her into a deal. My brother brought her into a deal. We're getting my mom now into our into the deals also. She's understanding. Yeah. So that's one deal. Then I have a 153 unit, which I put 117,000 in. My other 3 partners put 300,000 in. I was 10% of the company on that deal. That deal cash flows from the day one. I bought it in 2015, refied 170,000 out the year after. It gives me $6,000 a month on $117,000. In 2 deals, I have 10K passive income. 2 deals. I have 38 other deals. Okay. So when somebody goes, oh, cash flow, like that mentor saying cash flow, what are you talking about? Cash flow got me to quit my job. Like, and he's like, and if they're too strong on syndication, generational wealth deals, the 25 are going to my kids. We have the CapEx plans in that 26 unit. It's in brand new shape. They're all units are turned for 20 years with the LVP, the outside's paid, the 25-year roofs. I'm talking that deal's good. And then we every year we're getting 3,500 each a month. We keep a baseline and we're putting money aside. So then when the roof's got to be done one day, it has an account reserves done for the roofs. If the septic goes, we have 12 grand aside for the septic and we're getting 3,500 a month. So guys, cash flow. Yes. Jake Stenziano, if it doesn't cash flow, let the grass grow. I don't need to pop 300 units, 300 units, 300 units. Those are great for just appreciation and no draws for 3 years. That's fine. I don't need to do that. I go after real deals. I mean, real deals. I have a 115 unit that we bought. It's a generational wealth syndication. I created that term basically.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Generational wealth. We bought it. The rents are 600. They're going to 995 one beds. The 2 beds are 800 going to 1,300. It's a unicorn deal. We're holding it 10 to 30 years on a syndication. And all the investors agreed. There was all my family and friends. You couldn't get in unless you're invited. So that one's cash flowing, and we're refining it in a year or two when the rates are correct or anything. So I mean, that's a syndication. That's not a 300 unit syndication with no draws for 3 years, and you're hoping for appreciation. And you're best in final, 8-person best in final. You're paying top dollar. No, we were broker off market on that deal with no competition. Basically,
wow.
The brokers wanted us, and the seller wanted us. We were sought out by the seller because of my social media. And the broker gave a letter to the seller. Here's a secret. The broker wrote a letter to the seller of recommendation. Like, these guys can close I had it raised, $6 million raise in 3 hours by texting. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
That deal was well, Toby, if I texted you, hey, Toby, 1 beds are 600. They're going to 995 conservatively. Even if we went to 800, I'm like, Toby, are you interested in hearing more? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah. Done deal.
You're like, that's a syndication. That's a JV deal. You're like, yeah. So that's what we're going to be learning about. That's a quick intro on that. Any questions on that, Toby?
No, that's massive. There's a lot that we can definitely unpack there, but I know you're going to do that in a call, so I don't want to blow anybody's mind. We'll be on here for hours.
Yeah, I know. And that's the intro. I mean, I'm going to talk an hour and a half on it. I'm going to have a presentation with bullet points. You guys can take notes. I'm literally going to give you guys the humble, modest path to 40 units. Where, Toby, by the way, you're on it. You don't even know. But you do know. You're on it because you're doing what I did. You came in. What did you do? What were the first 3 deals you closed? A 20, a 50? What are the first 3 deals you closed?
Oh, gosh. It's still a blur. I think it was a 10, 14, 26 or something like that.
Okay. That's humble. And sometimes a mentor or guru might say, no, you got to do 60 and above to scale. You don't really need to scale. You got to learn, man. And then once you do those, now you could take those, refi them, hold them forever, give them to your kids. Or if they're not in your portfolio anymore, you sell them. Say, you know what? I outgrew 10 units. I'm doing 90 to 400 now, so sell it. But you started out to get my momentum with the brokers, to get that momentum, to get some cash flow in, to get a refi going. So now you did that. And all of a sudden you guys call me when you and Van call me. You're like, yo, I got 174. I'm like, oh, shit. And you guys flew down to Ponte Vedra, stayed with me for a day. Yep. And we just went over like, okay, who do we got to get to help you raise money? What do we need to do? I asked, how are your lease audits going? Let's see how many units you have to turn. And you guys are kicking ass in the property. You guys did a barbecue on the property. You guys, I asked Vienne, she says you're turning units. You got a good partnership going there. So, right? I mean, that's your path to 40 units. So that property, when you stabilize and rates come back down to kind of normal, it's going to be maybe a year or two. You refi that one day, you get some of your money out, and you go to another deal. Wrong or right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So now what else? You got a 12, a 20, a 15, a 50. You got the 174. Some good news. What else you got? What else are you working on?
Yeah, we got a few others that we're working on right now without divulging too much information because a lot of them are still in the works. But we've got that 160. We're still trying to renegotiate with that. Obviously, as everybody knows, the rates have hiked up again. So there's going to be we're going to see a lot of retrading. I mean, if you're not already noticing that. $1 million.
You're getting, you're retrading 900 grand. And that's what we're seeing.
Exactly.
We're retrading $1 million. Same thing.
Yeah.
We had a deal 205. We had it locked in 6 months ago. Now with the rates, he was delaying. We're going to go 180. It's like disgusting to go 180. But I told the guy, God bless, go sell to somebody else, please. but you're not going to get more than 180. And if you do, it's a rookie and he's stupid.
Exactly. We've seen that on deals that we've had to, drop out on. I say drop out, like we're not leaving anybody high and dry. Some of these situations we're losing earnest money, but we drop out of those deals, and some newbie comes in and swoops it up for even higher. So like Marco's saying, we're looking for cash flow and we're looking for appreciation. It's got to make sense from the get-go, or we're not taking it on. So we've got a few good ones in the pipeline. It's looking pretty good, and like most, if you're not already pivoting into a direct to seller model, you've got to start marketing direct to seller. You've got to, with the way things are shifting. I mean, there's so many.
We're going to go into that at the end, but keep going.
I don't want to spoil it.
No, keep going. Keep talking about it, because your
DTS model is where
Mr. Driving for dollars. Joey's Joe DTS. You're driving for dollars, Toby. So keep going.
Yeah. So I mean, I drive for dollars. I do single family full time. I flip houses. So when I'm out and about, I'm driving around and I'm looking for multifamily. And I'm trying to get in front of the decision makers. So I'm skip tracing them, figuring out who owns the property. And, from there, I'm getting in touch with them and seeing if we can do the dance, if we can, see if they're willing to entertain selling or something like that. And, then from there, we're always pushing seller finance. We're
going to hit that hard at the end, and I'm going to give you credit. And when I met you, I'm like, you're a single family guy, fix and flip. I knew I needed you in my group. I loved your personality.
Appreciate that.
You told me what you're doing driving for dollars, and you told me how good you're doing. And I looked at you, and what did I say to you? I'm going to get you with the right people. You drive for dollars. You find the deals. You're going to close a lot. And that was all you needed, was to be in a group and to be with Vienne and Aaron. That's all you needed. You had the skills, but you're doing it on your own, and you had that limiting belief, like, shit, if I find the 20 unit, who do I go to? You didn't have it. But then when you joined the MAH Mastermind, you had it. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So, number 2 now. Masterminds and wrong groups. And this is going to be a little tough love. So, I don't need to book people for my mastermind. I don't need to, scale my companies and like impress people and sugarcoat things. I talked the way my father talked to me. He always told me how it was. And a lot of people in this section are not going to sometimes they don't like to hear the truth, and they get offended by it. Like if somebody's overweight and you tell them they're overweight and they get offended by it, they should actually take that as fuel to lose weight.
We're getting into some.
Lose weight. It's all right. One of my aunts told me, Marco, I'm always a very skinny guy. I'm a little overweight now. She's like, you're getting fat. I'm like, wow. Instead of getting upset about it, I take that as fuel. She's right, because I've always been a very skinny guy. I'm 48 now, so now I'm getting the daddy belly. So people could take it different ways. I don't ever get offended because my father grew up there. I take it as constructive criticism and not get offended. Maybe they're right. They just don't know how to say it the right way. So in this section, masterminds and wrong groups. I get people every week, 4 or 5 people a week call me, and their mindset's wrong. And they'll get on the phone. I heard so much good stuff about your mastermind. Great. Yeah, we are. 2 weeks ago, my group in one day closed 4 deals. Like, that's unheard of. Like, we're doing mythical things in my group that people are saying that, right? So, yeah, I said, yeah, my group's doing really good. There's a lot of deals getting closed. I mean, we're working hard. We don't accept, beginners. Even if you have one single family, you're not a beginner. We could take that. You have the investor mindset.
Yeah.
But then they go to me, they go, yeah, it's they'll badmouth, maybe not badmouth, but like that group or the other group, or whatever, all these other masterminds. And I stop them to give them credit. I'm like, honestly, that group's not the problem. You're the problem. They don't suck. I say, you suck. And they're like, I'll say sometimes just like that. And you got to see their face. They're like, I'm like,
that hurts me.
Dude, I don't care. Because they're putting down a group, and that group might not actually be that bad. It's You're not the right fit, or you're not doing the work. But you know what it is? And even if the group is no good, Toby, what I tell them is you need to get better at vetting groups or mentors instead of just throwing your money because every group has a pitch. MIH doesn't have a pitch. I don't pitch people. If they ask me about it, I say, go talk to Toby. I don't need people in. I want the right people in. I don't need them in. We're not scaling. Yeah, I know. I'm glad you love how and you know why? I'm retired. I don't need to sugarcoat things. I can be blunt. That's why. So I don't need.
You're saying you're one of those retired people with no filters?
Exactly. But the thing is, it's better that way because I don't need to pitch people, and that's my group has no pitch. I'll tell them to come talk to you, and if they talk to you, I send them a video of Jay Bellacar, Justin Wojciak. They're like on the phone, like, Marco. People first don't want to be pitched, but they're so brainwashed in this world that they ask to be pitched. They're like, please tell me about it. Tell me all the good stuff. They're asking me to pitch them. You understand? And I tell them, I'm like, you're asking me to pitch you, basically. I'm not going to do it. So instead of like a 45-minute call with them, I do like a 10-minute call, and I'm like, listen, I'm going to hook you up with Toby. Just talk to him. And yeah, there's people in the group that didn't do good, maybe. You could talk to them also. But I'm going to send you Justin's video. I tell him, I send them 2 videos. Watch the videos. Jay Bellicar video is freaking awesome. He is such a high-level person. He's an engineer. He was a beginner of multifamily, did an 8-unit heavy lift, joined MIH. And in that video, he basically tells you why you should join. Not me. He does. Wow. And the way he says it is very eloquently. And it's like, holy shit, he's not sugarcoating stuff. He's like giving real examples. So that I give people a 10-minute call, and I'm like, I'm not pitching you. I give them ideas. So I tell them when they're asking to join my group, I say, listen, here's how you vet people better. This is what annoys me in multifamily. Somebody closes 2 deals, 3 deals, and all of a sudden they're coaching. That's fine. They're fucking motivated. I'm doing great. I want, this other mentor told me streams of income, start a business. I can coach. To me, that's not ethical. You close 2 deals. You're taking somebody's money. What are you really teaching them? How many years of experience you have managing those deals, doing whatever? So you want to hear my ethics? I started my mastermind after 1,800 units. Somebody could start earlier. That's fine. This is my opinion. Guys, and today, these are all my opinions. They're opinion-based. They're not like what you should do or anybody should do. My ethics, 1,800 units. I started the mastermind. I had my first 4-family 23. I started the mastermind 43 or 44, 20 years later. I did an A class, a B class, a C class, and a D class. I put 50 grand into a D class. I was supposed to put 250 into a D class, D minus, to lose the money. Why? I want to see if my brother told me, Marco, you're not investing that deal with him. I'm like, I know it's a bad deal. It was drugs, alcohol, there was needles on the property. I said, Gino, I'm investing in that deal. I'm investing in that deal because I want to learn how to turn it around, succeed. And when I crush the deal, I want to use that in my mastermind that anything can be done. And if I lose the money, write it off. I lost the money, but I still would learn something. We bought the deal, 900,000, seller financing some in 2019. We sold it 6 months ago for 2.4 million.
Nice.
Yeah. Now that's a mentor. Somebody who bought a D property and can do that. Now I could teach you, Toby. Toby, you come to me like, whoa, this property's bad, man, but we're getting it for like nothing. I'll give you the whole what we did on that deal. The management company, when we're walking the property, 2 ladies that manage our other properties, they're like, oh, we love this area. And we're 6 minutes from the hospital in Atlanta. I said to my partner, they love it. They're going to manage the property. They wanted us to give it to them. Get them to invest $50K, and I'll do the deal. I swear to God. We got the management company, Toby, to invest $50,000
That's unheard of.
in the deal.
That's a first.
That's MIH Mastermind, bro. You just heard it now. So if you come to me with like a deep and like they kept saying, we love this deal. We love the property. They were so high. So I said to the lady, I'm like, why don't you invest $50K with us? You get a little skin in the game. You're going to manage it. You know why I did that? Here's why. Here's a secret at MIH. Because there was so much turnover in drugs that I knew in 1 year and 6 months, they'd be burned out and quit on us. Wow. It wasn't an easy property to collect rents. What happened? They stabilized it for us. They really worked. They worked their ass off because they had money in the deal. Mm-hmm. They quit after 1 year.
Wow.
Okay. What happens? We took it over. We self-managed it after 1 year. So those are granular secrets that we teach in the mastermind. Now, can somebody who bought 2 deals teach you that? No. Can they teach you that to get maybe the management company to put $50K? No. Somebody who's got 20 plus years experience can. So am I saying somebody who shouldn't coach, maybe who's just got 2 years experience? No, go ahead. But you ain't getting my money. I'm not going to go to a coach or mentor that's 2 years in the space. And that's fine. So you understand, like Toby, right now, say you've been driving for dollars. You have a lot of experience. You could teach direct to seller. You got these deals. You can coach. But if you were in the space for a year, I'm not talking down upon it. I'm just saying you can get beginners and help them, but you're not going to get Marco or something. But and if somebody comes to you and they complain and say, I was in Toby's group. Toby's group is not the problem. You didn't vet it good enough. So you understand where I'm coming from. I'm not talking bad about coach. And I'm not talking bad about people who coach in the first couple of years. That's not the problem. That's not them. People need to vet them better. Let them be coach. If they think in 2 years they have enough experience, let them make money. Let them be entrepreneurs. Let them coach. You just need to learn how to vet better. And you need to learn what's the success of the group, what's the leader doing? Is he taking action? You have mentors out there coaching right now. couple of my friends that I know, one of them has no more deals. He sold everything, and he's not going to do another deal. I know him for like 5 years, and he's got students. He's not taking action. What the hell's he teaching? He's reading books, and he's teaching from a book. Anybody can do that. My 18-year-old daughter can do that. So, guys, tough love section, I told you. My 18-year-old daughter can get tutored by me, read books, and start coaching. She doesn't need deals. Wow. There's mentors out there hasn't done a deal in the last 4 years, and they're teaching. So you should know that. You should ask the guy, when was your last deal? How many deals do you have? What are you doing? What's your mind on market cycle? Can you buy in any market? We teach market cycle. I can buy in the last 30 years. I can buy in this next recession, 2023, we're going to get into, and I can buy in a top market at 8%. I can buy in any market. We teach whatever is given to you, seller financing, no seller financing. That's it. That's a mentor. So Toby, as I talk a lot, any thoughts on this or no?
My mind's blown. Again, that's a lot to process. It's tough love, but I mean, it's also.
Well, you came to my group, right? You came to my group and you had a good experience, but you kind of vetted me. You heard Marco's doing all this and doing all that, and then you didn't know my partner. I said you got to meet my partner, Hadar. Hadar is fucking great. He's got a 50-something unit. He cash flows 12 to 15,000 a month on one deal. I'm like, and you're gonna love Hadar because of structure. Hadar's the structure guy, asset management. He's with Asana, with everything. He's managing his properties from New Zealand. So when you have your 174, Hadar's going to help you with the management skills, and me on the money raising side and everything else. So yeah, I mean, guys, invest in yourself. There's a lot of great groups out there. Just vet them, man. Just ask good questions. I mean, before you join a group, because then if the group's not good, this is the new mindset. Whoever's on and watch this, just say, hey, I messed up. I joined the wrong group. It wasn't the group.
Boom.
That's it. Last thing. Yeah, good. So we're getting 30 minutes. 2023. I want your opinions. I know what we're talking about. What questions do you have about 2023, Toby? Because you actually already saw it, so you're seeing it.
Yeah.
You're giving a $900,000 deduction retrade. So with these higher rates, you said it before. We do broker off market.
Yeah.
But now we're gonna let Joe on our team do broker off market still, because we got a unicorn deal last year, 115 rents from 600 to 995. But this year, here's a secret today. And I told it in my mastermind. I've said it 2 or 3 times already. I did a reel about it. Me and Chris Jackson, literally me, I should be able to be paying you, Toby, to drive for dollars for me. Me and Chris Jackson for fun. We're going to November 15th. I'm not going to say what market. It's a smoking hot market. We're going to be driving 10, 20 properties. And then the second week of December, we're going back to that same market. We're going to do another 20 properties. Me and Chris Jackson, who also should not be doing that. We're doing it for fun. We're going direct to seller hard next year.
Let's unpack that, because there's a lot of like good stuff there. Number one, like in the market cycle where we're at, still getting deals. Number two, you've already done. I mean, you're retired, right? But you're literally getting in a car, you're putting in the work, and you're going driving for dollars. So
I'll say that again. I'll give you an analogy. It's like me when I was at the restaurant. I took that when we were busy in delivery. I owned, I don't know how much millions in multifamily. At the time, I didn't quit yet. I was about to quit. I got in the car. I took 2 pizzas for delivery. My delivery kid's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, we're freaking busy. I got to take these.
Yeah.
He was just blown away that Marco, the owner of the building and the business, is delivering pizza.
100%.
And I'd show up to the door, and the customer would be like, you're the owner. Like, got to do what I got to do. I got to get it to you hot. And then I get back, the dishwasher would cut his finger and have to go home. I'd be washing dishes. So it's actually more fun, I got to say this, than washing dishes. But when the dishwasher cuts his finger, and being the owner, I had to do it. And then my guys would push me aside. But me and Chris, for fun, because I freaking love this space, I want to drive for dollars. I want to get back to the basics, my deal 1 to 15 was for me. I became financially free. Deal 15 to 40 was my 3 daughters. She's not here, which is good. She left for school. They don't have to work. Deal 40 to 60 is for my kids.
That's
so,
good.
What I mean? And I can work when I want, with who I want, if I want, and where I want. I'm in Orlando now for 3-4 days hanging out with my daughter. That's why I tell everybody, get into multifamily.
You got those from, like you said, doing the basics. And right now you're going back to the basics. I think so often people try to overcomplicate this and they want all of the shiny stuff that's out there. But a lot of this is just getting in there, doing some of the gritty stuff. I mean, it's not even gritty. I mean, you're literally in your car drinking coffee, riding around, looking at properties, right? And jotting down.
I'm eating steak. I'm eating steak with Chris Jackson.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I gotta make it seem like I'm not having too much fun because I don't want my wife to be like, you ain't going on all these trips. It's gotta seem like it's a little tough work, right?
And that's
we're drinking scotch and eating steak and walking properties. Is that really a tough job? I mean,
those are the basics, right?
Yeah.
And so often people get so like discouraged and they think, oh, I've got to be doing all of this XYZ stuff. You're literally hopping in a car after eating a nice fine dinner and then riding around, jotting down properties and then pursuing the owners.
It's actually a thrill, man. It's a freaking thrill to get on those properties. And like, if you run into a seller, you go into your Chris Voss negotiation skills fucking mode, like pretend you're like renting a property. And then all of a sudden you're talking, I'm like, yeah, I need a 2-bedroom, and I'm going to be here for a couple of years. And then all of a sudden you got the seller. And then you're like, by the way, you own the property. He's like, yeah, I'm the seller. I'm like, by the way, we buy multifamily properties. And then you see how it goes from there. First you build that, it's so many different ways, or we use the property manager to get in touch with them, or the CapEx crew, or so many ways to even the broker. But I mean, there's one thing that this is tough love too. I love to see this shit on social media. This 2020, I closed 7 deals. 2021, I closed 8 deals. I'm closing 12 deals this year, right?
Wow.
So anybody in my shoes right now would go right probably like end of third quarter, close my 12th deal. I'm shutting it down. Like people love to show like they're not working. Like I'm shutting it down. Am I wrong or right, Toby? They'll post October. I'm shutting it down. October, November, December. I'm taking off. They want to point to people like they got this best life. Here's the thing. Here's the tough love. I read that post. High-level entrepreneur doesn't write that.
No.
We are wired a different way. I'm not closing these deals for money. I do it for success. I'm with my wife and 3 kids every day. I spend too much time with them.
Yeah.
But I don't need to shut it down fully November, December. November, December, me and Chris, we're preparing for a kick-ass 2023. So we kind of semi-shut it down. I don't go on Facebook and say, yeah, I'm retired, close 12 deals. And
it's like Tom Brady. I mean, we could argue that he's the greatest QB that ever walked the planet, right? But he wins a Super Bowl. He celebrates for a little bit. And then what? He gets right back to work, right?
Because why? He's a high-level entrepreneur. He's not doing it for the money. He conquered the money world. So when a high-level entrepreneur closes 12 deals and conquers the money world, it's not about money. I walk around $5 in my pocket. It's about legacy for my kids. And my daughter sees what I do. She saw I pulled in $7 million for the 108 in 1 day right after the Zoom. She's like, how did you do that? And I'm like, you're going to do that. I'm like, I used to be a chef because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a high-level entrepreneur. I figured it out. And that's what entrepreneurs do. We jump off a cliff and we build a plane on the way down.
Exactly.
And that's it. And being an entrepreneur, people listen, is not for everybody, man. So like a lot of people in my circle, family, friends, and everybody, they don't understand high-level entrepreneurs. And some of the people that aren't get turned off by it because they can't keep up and that's not for them. And so it's okay. So your big circle comes down to a small circle sometimes when you're high-level entrepreneurs. Some of those people can't be around that energy and around that motivation. It's not for everybody. That's why they call it the 1%.
Yep.
100%. So, yeah, I mean, so getting back to 2023, we're doing direct to seller. And I just guys gave you a secret. Marco and Chris, who don't have to do it, are doing it. So like if you're in New York and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna underwrite a deal week, and I got my friend who's close by, and we're gonna use brokers. That's good, but you're not outworking me. You're not gonna get the deals. If you're just sitting in New York and Marco and Chris are walking properties, who's gonna get the deals? Marco and Chris. So you need to work harder for 2023, and the reason is like 2007 to 12. This is awesome. I was at the restaurant. I was young. I made great money 1995 to 2005 as a young guy in that great economy. And then 2007 to 12, I couldn't buy multifamily because I was scared. I didn't have nobody behind me. It was just me and my brother. And I didn't have the education. Back then, I was starting out. I had 4 family, 2 shopping centers. I started buying in 2012 in that upturn to 19, which was still great. But now I teach. I can't wait for 2023 because now I have the education. I have the experience. And I have 160 strong in the mastermind like you. So, I mean, now I'm looking forward to 2023. Toby, what are you doing? Chris, what are you doing? On our MIH chat, it's getting hit up all day long of I'm giving tips of money raising, tips of 2023. Chris Jackson's putting up graphs of absorption and how there's not enough units in that area, and how Kansas City has the highest, the lowest unemployment. And this recession is going to be now, recessions are New York and California are going to get slammed, where my house in New York appreciated $100,000 in this upturn, and my house in Florida, I bought it at $1 million, worth $2 million, went up, it doubled to $1 million. The house in New York, the same house, beautiful colonial brick, $100,000. My house in Florida. So it's going to be market-centric recessions. Orlando will get affected, but not like New York. New York will get destroyed. California get destroyed. So 2023, we are going to see. I did that real seller financing, and people are like, that's hard. No, it's not. We already have a deal, 10% down, and we negotiated 4.25. He wanted 4.5. My partner, one of my partners, got 4.25. I haven't done seller financing in a while. With 6.5 rates, I think 4.25 is amazing. I think it's almost like somebody will be like, "That's not true. I don't believe you." So we got that. We got that.
Marco, at the basics, how did you get that deal? Like seller finance? How does that work? Because a lot of people think, well, what do you say, and how would you even bring that up? And
this is a rookie mistakes. It's negotiation because we teach you the mastermind. Sometimes people, they'll get a deal and they'll hit seller financing right in the beginning. Unless you're like Sharpline and we're known, we could do that. But if you're not known, if you ask in the beginning too early, they might think you can't close the deal and they get nervous and you don't get the deal. So usually what we tell you to do is get the deal in contract, regular financing, blah, blah, blah. That's what we did with this guy. And the rates went up, and he really likes my partner and our team on this deal, the seller.
So let me backtrack. You guys still have intent. So contract always equals control, but don't mistake that with like manipulation, right? Like they didn't get the deal under contract with intentions of going seller finance. Maybe the rates went up. Maybe the deal didn't pencil out. They had every bit of intention of closing, but then seller finance made more sense,
but
right?
Even better than that. Yeah, even better than that. Watch, I do this. So here's the other secret. You think somebody owns 100 units. You think they're fucking experienced. They know everything, cost seg, They don't. A lot of these people don't know shit. So you get this deal, and then all of a sudden you think he knows about seller financing, that he's going to make a ton of money. And funny thing is, a lot of these owners don't even know about seller financing. Like they don't know how much they could save. So I get the deal, and on a piece of paper, I write out the terms, the amount he holds, and in 5 years, how much he saves. Then I'm like, do you know how much you could save if you do? I show him, this is what you'll say. And he's like, one of the guys was like, yeah, right. I'm like, show this to your accountant, take a day, show it to your lawyer. He went back, showed it to his accountant lawyer. He's like, I feel like a little, I'm like, don't feel dumb. I never knew about it. I did one seller finance deal when I was young with my dad on a building in New York, a shopping center. We held a note, 5-year balloon, and we saved a lot, and we're getting like $4,000 a month. He went back, he came to us, he goes, yeah, my accountant was like, you should definitely do it. And I'm like, see, if you ask your accountant about seller financing, he would advise you to do it, but you didn't ask him. He's busy, so he's not going to tell you. He didn't know what you're doing. So now that was a long time ago. That was a deal we did a while back, 2 years ago. But this current deal, I didn't ask my partner yet, but we had it in contract to do regular. And my partner, without asking me, we're on the same page. I'm going to ask my partner, how do we do it? He's like, yeah, of course. I wrote it out for him, and he's willing to do it. Sometimes they're not willing to do it. I don't know why. It depends on the age or what they're doing with their money, 1030. I don't know, But yeah, he was willing to do it, So Robert Musso just did a great deal in the Carolinas. And the seller was a great dude. They were raising all the money, and then the seller was like, yeah, I'll do seller financing to help them out. He's like, I'll take some stress off you, do some seller financing so you guys have to raise less and whatever. And even him, he goes, I'll save some money. So yeah, if you get a good seller, man, they'll work with you. The guy worked with Robert to put a little less stress on Robert on raising the money, So that's we're going to see a lot more seller financing. Just be aggressive on direct to seller. Toby, you're awesome at driving for dollars, man, and doing what you're doing. Your group, you told me how you're doing it, but you guys are getting a lot of deal flow ever since you joined MIH. You, Viet, and Aaron. I'm proud of you guys. You got good teams. You got Josh Restall on your team on a JV deal, right? You got a lot of MIH. You've changed a lot of lives in MIH. Who else in MIH have you brought on? Josh Stahl. Who else?
At least half of MIH.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, dude. You're changing fucking lives, dude. So here's the last secret of the day. people come in the space and they want to be underwriters or money raisers or deal finder. So if you're in the space and you're not a deal finder, you go on these pages and see who's closing deals, and you reach out to 20 deal finders and you add value to them. Can you raise money? Can you be boots on the ground? Can you underwrite? Can you do due diligence? Can you do asset management? Don't just go on and network them and say, what can I do for you? That's the wrong thing. We always teach that. That's, that's basic and rudimentary. No. Are you boots on the ground? Dude, boom, call. So that's a trick. In MIH, somebody comes in, I introduce them 20. Not everybody's a deal finder. We have like a lot of deal finders in MIH. You're a deal finder. I'm like, yo, you got to get on, somebody's new. You got to get on the phone with Toby. You hit it off. What happens? You brought in countless people changing their lives that aren't deal finders, but they can add value, and you got them into JV deals.
Boom. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So,
well,
let's see. Any, and we can wrap this up. Any questions out there?
Yeah. So we'll leave it open if anybody's got any questions. If not, we'll let them drop in for the next couple minutes, and we'll wrap it up from there. So this one's
while they're writing questions out, guys. Look out on my Facebook page, Chris Jackson, Underwriting in a Recession. It's $197. It's worth $5,000, priceless more. He's going to be underwriting, showing not just numbers. He's going to be talking about how he's underwriting, what to look for, what rents and everything in 2023. That's paid for, $197. My free class is Intro to Cash Flow and Appreciation, or both. No, his is in October, I think, the 18th, I think. It's on my Facebook page. Scroll down, and then mine's free. So if you join his and pay $197, you always get mine for free. So as a go giver, I do free educations, add value to people, and then like I said, it comes back to me. And that's it. I think that's it for this year. Next year, Toby, next year we have MIH Mastermind weekend vacation. It's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're not going to have 170 people like we're going to keep it to 20, 30 people, but we're going to be in a room with Chris Jackson, me, Hadar, the masters. We're all going to be talking deals and going after deals.
Nice. High level.
Yeah. And that's it.
Comments are still coming in. So no questions.
I know. That's why I'd rather answer questions. But people, I guess, feel bad asking questions a lot of times when we do calls. But as long as, I hope added some value to people today about
the comments are coming in, man. We definitely had a good one here. It's been an honor to have you on, Marco. It's been an honor to just be affiliated with you. How can people get a hold of you? How can they find you? How can they reach out to you? I see your website next to your name.
Put my website up there. I got to be honest, I don't give my email out. I get too many emails. Here's my number. If you want to write my number in the chat, 914-615-1859. Text me.
914-615-1859.
Text me. I'll give you my calendar link. I give you a free 45-minute go giver call.
You're a brave man.
I don't care. I do it. I that's what I do, Toby. I don't need people to join my group. I don't have anything to sell them. And what I tell you is
about the flash your number. I mean, you're talking thousands of people will now have your phone number, Marco. It's too late.
If you Google my name, my number's been up there. As soon as you Google my name, since I was at the restaurant, my cell number's been out there for the last I don't know how many years. I have 4,000 plus contacts on here. I'm retired with calls booked every day to help people out. So
that is awesome.
Toby, high level people make it happen, man.
High level people, of course.
Toby, I greatly appreciate you, and
I appreciate you.
Thank you for letting me come on and listening to me.
Sounds good. All right. Well, hey, you've got a cell phone number. There's no reason why you can't.
Send me a text. I'll send you my calendar.
You're going to get so many 3 a.m. You're a brave man.
Hey, by the way, if people go, oh, I can't give up my cell, you don't want to be successful. You got to be on all day. Dude, you got to be on all day long.
Yeah.
It's dude, so our group, Be Obsessed to Be Average. 2022 is all in. All fucking in, dude. That's it. That's what we teach in our group. Right? All right.
Let's do it. All right. Let's make it happen.
Have a good day.
Appreciate you, Marco.
Yep. Take care.
Bye.